Soul Land Episode 184 Original Novel DouLuo DaLu. Chapter 217. Seahorse Sacred Pillar, Black Level 6 Tests. TL by Bagelson. Roar. A sky-shattering roar suddenly resounded from DouLuo's throat as he suddenly pulled back his tightly clenched fists. Intense light like flames soared around him, as he instantly released his 6 spirit rings. Muscles suddenly swelling, the surface of his skin suddenly revealing black and white striped fur, the tyrannical influence of the king among beasts abruptly exploded in all directions. Waves spread outward in the sand below his feet, as those evil eyes radiating domineering power made even the seahorse DouLuo more than 200 meters away feel somewhat moved. Seahorse DouLuo waved his right hand, and the waves in front immediately began to churn, reaching 10 meters high, unexpectedly and directly sealing all avenues forward. The practically boiling sea water thundered with a heaven-shaking power, but didn't spill over the confines of the sea within the sea even a hair. Facing such circumstances, DouLuo didn't show even a hint of fear. His third spirit ring abruptly flashed, fully using his 1000-year spirit ring ability, White Tiger Vajra transformation. His originally already tall and sturdy body expanded once again, the white fur turning golden in a flash, the king character on his forehead becoming even more clear, as each muscle seemed to burst with explosive force. Under the amplification of the White Tiger Vajra transformation, DouLuo roared, intense golden light filling the air in front of him, White Tiger light wave shooting out and turning into an intense white light shooting directly at the waves. Amidst the explosive noise, a large hole was unexpectedly blasted open through that wave. At the same time, DouLuo's majestic body shot forward, charging straight at the waves with an incomparable aggressiveness. 30 or so meters where the White Tiger light wave attacked completely burst open, those sky-reaching waves splashing in all directions like flowers scattered by a goddess. But even more formidable waves met DouLuo, heavily striking his majestic body. It seemed like DouLuo's golden figure would be swallowed by those terrifying waves. Zhu Zuking's heart thumped, and she couldn't help rushing a step forward, but was blocked by Tang San. Tang San said in a low voice. "It's all right. Since Boss Dai dares charge into the sea like this, naturally he has confidence. We'll wait and see." Seeing DouLuo swallowed by the waves with much thunder but little rain, the yellow-clothed sea spirit masters on the shore couldn't help being stunned, in their hearts all thinking that land spirit masters were mediocre. Even though the sea within the sea wasn't a true ocean, under Seahorse DouLuo's control, this place would be even more dangerous than the real ocean. Just at this moment, suddenly, along with a rumble, a 5 meters or so long giant seahorse suddenly flew out of the ocean, turning in the air, emanating blue light. "I understand." Tang San's eyes revealed a trace of admiring light. "Boss Dai is using the method we used to land on Sea God Island. He can't swim, but with his strength, walking on the bottom of the sea for a short while isn't a problem. This sea within the sea won't be as deep as the real ocean, he can walk across the bottom by relying on White Tiger barrier." Tang San's words just fell when, along with an explosion, one enormous seahorse after another whirled out of the sea. Clearly, these were the sea spirit beasts of the sea within the sea. They seemed to have the strength of 1000-year spirit beasts. Each seahorse breaking through the waves seemed to be just unconscious, with no apparent injuries. Before long, just 5 meters away from the seahorse sacred pillar, the waves abruptly rolled back, an immense stream of water soaring up, fiercely striking the light screen overhead. That body glittering with golden light soared up within this wave. Drawing a deep breath, both hands swatting backward, using the impulse from striking the wave, he stably landed in front of Seahorse DouLuo. Seahorse DouLuo's eyes revealed a bit of praise, nodding to DouLuo. Possessing tyrannical spirit power with the energy of the king among beasts spirit, relying on the third spirit ability to break through my trial. Among land spirit masters, you can also be considered an outstanding figure at the spirit emperor level. Even more at such a young age. No wonder you would be confident in coming here. Fine. You are qualified to accept the trials of the Lord Sea God. Many thanks. DouLuo replied with only 2 simple words. Finished speaking, he directly turned aside, looking at the others still on the shore. Using his gaze to transmit some kind of information. The others might not be able to see it, but he believed Tang San definitely could. The praise in Seahorse DouLuo's eyes wasn't just because of DouLuo's strength, but rather because he didn't kill any sea spirit beasts in the sea. Tang San could guess DouLuo's method for reaching the seahorse sacred pillar, as the real controller here, how couldn't he know? Tang San really did see DouLuo's gaze, and from within also understood what Dai Mubai wanted to tell them. Immediately he turned to the others. Going over to the seahorse sacred pillar actually isn't seahorse DouLuo's trial for us. Dai Mubai told us that it's not completely difficult. Within the sea, there's just seahorses with that kind of strength. Without even stronger sea spirit beasts. Zuking, you're second. Fine. Zhu Zuking replied. She didn't go through the motions of preparation like Dai Mubai did, her body soared as she released her spirit, her first spirit ability Hell Rush Stab unleashing in midair, and she suddenly accelerated, heading straight for the waves. Compared to Dai Mubai, she was even faster, moving forward unhindered like a spectre. In a flash she had already soared more than 10 meters, when she was only half a meter from to the light screen emanating from the seahorse sacred pillar, she suddenly changed direction in midair and shot straight for the seahorse sacred pillar. The violent waves of course wouldn't let her pass like that, and the surging sea charged towards Zhu Zuking. Her style when confronting the waves was completely different from Dai Mubai, just seeing purple light flash around her, equally releasing the radiance of her third spirit ability, a black empty shadow seemed to emanate from her body, quietly chopping at the wave. It was Zhu Zuking's third spirit ability, Hell Chop. The violent sea water, when on the verge of striking her body, swept past on either side of her, the Hell Chop directly cutting open the wave in front of. By now, Zhu Zuking had already charged close to 30 meters. Of course she wouldn't pick the same style as Dai Mubai, submerging in the water. She didn't have Dai Mubai's tyrannical physique, but as an agility attack type spirit master, she had her own ways. Just as she was about to fall into the wave, Hell Chop appeared once again, only this time it wasn't aimed at splitting the wave ahead, but rather bizarrely cut out a triangle. When her momentum was on the verge of being exhausted, the tips of her toes touched the wave cut by her Hell Chop, her first spirit ability Hell Rush Stab launching once again, and she charged forward. Even though the buoyancy of sea water is a lot higher than potable water, by how much? But this tiny difference in buoyancy was enough to carry Zhu Zuking. Hell Chop opened up the way, Hell Rush Stab carried her forward. The two spirit abilities merged together had a remarkable effect in passing this sea. In a flash, after approximately 10 accelerations, Zhu Zuking finally broke through the restrictions of the waves, landing noiselessly next to Dai Mubai, without being hit by a single drop of water, without a red face, without hurried breathing, she withdrew her spirit, nodding slightly to Seahorse DouLuo. Seahorse DouLuo's originally tight face showed a hint of a smile. Very good. I can describe your display as stunning. Agility attack type spirit master, cat type spirit, equally focused on speed and attack. Your strength might not be equal to his, but you did even better than him. It seems even younger than him. Six-ring spirit emperor. Apparently my understanding of land spirit masters really is a bit lacking. You are equally qualified to accept the Lord Sea God's trial. Zhu Zuking once again saluted Seahorse DouLuo and walked over next to Dai Mubai, gripping his still wet big hand, standing there quietly. In their eyes wasn't a trace of concern, because they believed in their comrade's strength. Ashore. Little Ao, wrong, up to you. Oscar laughed out loud, saying. No problem. Wrong, let's go. Oscar swiftly ate one of the clone mirror sausages produced by his sixth spirit ability. With a flicker of silvery light, his eyes suddenly brightened, and another Oscar immediately appeared next to him. He not only ate his sixth spirit ability, but also simultaneously used his spirit bone ability, clone. The clone Oscar that appeared stooped, carrying Ning Rong on his back end, led by Oscar's main body, simultaneously dashed towards the sea within the sea. Black light simultaneously appeared on Oscar's main body and the clone. His two bodies simultaneously used Hell Rush Stab. That's right, the clone mirror sausage Oscar ate was made from a drop of Zhu Zuking's blood. However, his cloned ability had considerable flaws compared to when Zhu Zuking used it, and his body control naturally couldn't compare to Zhu Zuking either. However, don't forget that Oscar wasn't alone in stepping into the sea within the sea right now. Gorgeous dazzling light flashed behind the back of Oscar's clone, the 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda appearing over Ning Rong's palm. The first 3 floors of the pagoda blossomed with light simultaneously, and Ning Rong's first spirit ability strength amplification, second spirit ability agility amplification, and third spirit ability spirit power amplification, simultaneously fell on Oscar. Just what is called pure strength subdues 10 schemes, while Oscar's use of the Hell Civets abilities naturally didn't compare to Zhu Zuking, right now he had Ning Rong's 70% ability boost, capable of using 80% of Zhu Zuking's abilities, while his spirit power, agility and strength all surpassed Zhu Zuqing by far. A hell chop equally shot out. Even though Oscar's application wasn't as ingenious, the hell chop's strength was substantially increased, and the gap cut in the seawater was even larger, enough to give him enough time to respond. And the clone body's ability changed along with the abilities of Oscar's main body, therefore Ning Rongrong's amplification to Oscar equally affected the clone. Even though the clone body only had 70% or so of Oscar's strength, it didn't have to launch the hell chop, just carrying Ning Rongrong to follow behind Oscar was enough. An extraordinary scene appeared over the sea within the sea. One person ahead, black light continuously flickering in his hands, constantly leaping forward, two people behind, one carrying the other on his back, and in the hands of the person being carried a glorious pagoda shot out 3 radiant lines of light to the person in front, just like a bridge linking them together. As they arrived at the seahorse sacred pillar, the time it took them was actually even shorter than Zhu Zuqing. Seeing Oscar and Ning Rongrong's equally ideal spirit ring configuration of 6 spirit rings gradually vanish, Seahorse DouLuo gradually stood, first looking at Ning Rongrong. Your spirit is the 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda. Although it was in this ocean, he still knew the 7 great sects of land spirit masters. Ning Rongrong smiled slightly, neither servile nor overbearing, saying, "Should be 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda. But Junior really is from the 7 treasure glazed tile school. 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda." Seahorse DouLuo's eyes revealed a pensive light. "Good, a good 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda." Turning to Oscar, this Seahorse DouLuo's gaze grew a bit hesitant. "Very difficult to imagine. I actually can't see what your spirit is. It seems you possess the same ability as that young miss, but I still know it isn't. From how unfamiliar with the use of the ability you are, that really isn't your original ability. Can you tell me what your spirit is?" Oscar smiled slightly. "If I told you what my spirit is, would the Lord Sea God's trial be a bit easier?" Seahorse DouLuo smiled slightly, saying, "That isn't up to me." Oscar looked at this title DouLuo level C spirit master's burning gaze, saying, "My spirit is sausage, or to be precise, I'm a food system spirit emperor. As for why I could use that ability just now, I'm sure you can guess." "Food system spirit master?" Seahorse DouLuo stared blankly a moment. Right now he felt a bit like the opponents who saw the Shrek 7 Devils participate back in the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Tournament. The first to arrive at the Seahorse Sacred Pillar, Daimyo Bai, had actually already brought this Seahorse DouLuo an enormous shock, but the next 3 were still equally alarming. What made him most shocked was the couple who just came here. 1 Food System Spirit Master, 1 Support System Spirit Master. They could actually pass the trial of the waves, steadily reaching the Seahorse Sacred Pillar. Especially crucial was that these DouLuo Continent Spirit Masters were all so young, apparently just 20 years old. But these 4 in front of him were still all Spirit Emperors with ideal Spirit Ring configurations. Through these 4, Seahorse DouLuo already clearly recognized how the Land Spirit Masters that came this time fitted together. In time, these youths' future could only be described as limitless. While Seahorse DouLuo was thinking deeply on his side, on the shore an argument had risen. "Xiang, let me bring you." Ma Hongjun persuaded. Bai Chenxiang stubbornly shook her head. "No need, I can do it on my own. I can't always cause all of you trouble." When Ma Hongjun wanted to speak again, Bai Chenxiang had already thrown herself out without the slightest hesitation. Figure flashing, she spread nimble wings like a white shadow, flying straight for the sea within the sea. Tang San signaled Ma Hongjun with his eyes, and Fatty hastily chased after. The Phoenix Spirit releasing, the 3rd spirit ability Phoenix Ascension formed 2 giant wings of flame, dashing after Bai Chenxiang. If Bai Chenxiang met danger, he would also look after her from behind. Their actions naturally drew Seahorse DouLuo's attention. As he saw Bai Chenxiang's 4 spirit rings and Ma Hongjun's 5 spirit rings, inwardly he couldn't help sighing a bit. Finally some youngsters who weren't at the Spirit Emperor level. Actually, even he didn't understand why his mind, ordinarily calm as a dried-out old well, would ripple like this over some kids. However, Seahorse DouLuo's mind didn't relax for long before his eyes again revealed astonishment. Bai Chenxiang's white silhouette bore through the waves like a wisp of smoke. Even if the waves were crowded close, they still rose and fell with the tide, and Bai Chenxiang seemed to see the eye of a needle that appeared along with the movement of the waves. Even in places that seemed devoid of any cracks, she could still easily find a few chinks to pass through. More than 200-meter distance, in practically just a few eye blinks, Her white mist-like silhouette already fell from the air, stably standing on the seahorse sacred pillar platform. In terms of speed, even until now, Bai Chenxiang was number one. Close behind Bai Chenxiang, Fatty moved forward even more directly. Without any dodging, he directly charged through the waves. Using both the two great spirit abilities Bathing Fire Phoenix and Phoenix Ascension, this time he had learned the lesson from last time at the vast sea Great Spirit Arena. When he knocked against the waves, he pulled in his wings as close as possible, using momentum to crash through. And once he appeared on the other side, the wings immediately unfolded, accelerating once again, charging at the next wave. Large clouds of white steam rose in the air above the sea within the sea. Ma Hongzhen used this direct, close to barbarian way to break through the obstruction of one wave after another, becoming the sixth to land on the seahorse sacred pillar platform. If I'm not mistaken, you should be a pure speed type spirit master. Seahorse DouLuo looked at Bai Chenxiang. Bai Chenxiang nodded slowly. Seahorse DouLuo smiled. Interesting, really interesting. His gaze turned to Ma Hongzhen who had just landed on the platform, equally unstained by half a drop of water. High temperature flame, Phoenix spirit. Just from the spirit, on dry land, you should be a top quality spirit master. Unfortunately, your spirit power still lags behind a bit. Ma Hongzhen blushed. Even though he had also reached the 60th ranked, compared to the others, he really was behind. Just at this moment, Tang San on the shore brought Xiao Wu to be the last to move. Seahorse DouLuo at first didn't notice, however, the sea within the sea before them was under his control, and every soon he discovered something wrong. Subconsciously he turned to look, and was immediately stupefied. Tang San's right hand tightly held Xiao Wu's slender waist to soar in the air. Xiao Wu seemed to be without perception of anything in the outside world, her long scorpion braid hanging across her chest, she nestled against Tang San's shoulder with a vacant gaze in her beautiful eyes. Blue hair, blue eyes, graceful temperament, handsome appearance. Soaring in the air, Tang San and Xiao Wu didn't cause any smoke and fire, just like a pair of immortal companions. About to be hit by a charging wave, in Tang San's left hand appeared a black hammer, 1.5 meters long, large hammerhead. With just a light shake of his wrist, without taking any stance, the giant wave before them scattered with an explosion, and brought Xiao Wu to fly forward through the air. He wasn't particularly fast, but he seemed so graceful and natural, as if the giant waves reaching towards the sky before him was just a simple matter. Tang San's clear sky hammer was forged under the waterfall. No matter how large the waves, but they were still far from comparable to the several hundred meters tall waterfall, and his current spirit power was higher by far than at that time. Using the blue-silver emperor right leg bone to fly, with the clear sky hammer to open up the way, even though the waves surged, how could they stop his path forward? Under the impact of the clear sky hammer, rumbling sound spread rhythmically. Those giant waves seemed to open up a path to greet them, and in a flash, Tang San had already brought Xiao Wu as the last to land on the seahorse sacred pillar platform. If Oscar's strength could be said to puzzle Seahorse DouLuo, then Tang San before him was even more incomprehensible. From Tang San's body, he clearly didn't see a spirit ring, so much that he couldn't even sense what level he had reached from the spirit power he released, but he still moved forward so unhurriedly. In fact, the giant waves Seahorse DouLuo raised, to land spirit masters, were extremely difficult to pass without at least 50th rank cultivation. Bai Chenxiang's special circumstances couldn't be seen just anywhere. Looking Tang San up and down, Seahorse DouLuo's gaze suddenly turned cold. According to the sequence just now it is fine. While speaking, his hands formed seals, and everyone felt an energy quietly disperse. That boiling sea immediately calmed down, and the light screen emanating from the top of the seahorse sacred pillar also quietly dissipated. Seeing Seahorse DouLuo's eyes hold such a cold gaze, Tang San was somewhat puzzled. When he looked at the other Shrek 7 devils, everyone also revealed vacant expressions. Dai Mubai's evil eyes suddenly radiated light, as if thinking of something, saying to Seahorse DouLuo. Senior, there's something I think I should first make clear. We're not from Spirit Hall. You should also have seen that Rongrong's spirit is the 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda, she comes from the 7 treasure glazed tile school. Little San is from the Clear Sky School. Me and Zuking are from the Star Luo Imperial family. Xiang is a disciple of the Clear Sky School's subordinate Speed clan. As for Little Ao and Fatty, they're free spirit masters. When he spoke of each person, he pointed to them. Hearing Dai Mubai's words, Tang San was the first to come to a realization. As land spirit masters, and moreover also young and this powerful, this seahorse DouLuo would very easily regard them as coming from Spirit Hall. And back then with Spirit Hall's attack on Sea God Island, this seahorse DouLuo naturally wouldn't have any good impression. Daimyo Bai suddenly explaining everyone's history was to negate seahorse DouLuo's conjecture. That wasn't to say that Tang San's ability to reflect wasn't equal to Daimyo Bai, but rather because Daimyo Bai was the first to step onto the seahorse sacred pillar platform, and clearly saw seahorse DouLuo's gentle manner towards everyone. But as the last one to reach the platform, Tang San's line of sight was previously cut off by the raging waves, and naturally didn't see what happened here, and was only vaguely able to see what happened. Sure enough, along with Daimyo Bai's explanation, seahorse DouLuo's expression relaxed, and he casually asked. Since you're from different backgrounds, from between the southern sky and the northern sea, how come you're all gathered together? Tang San smiled. Because we went to school together. You might not have heard of it, but we graduated from Shrek Academy. Oscar added. We still once represented Shrek Academy to participate in the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Tournament, and moreover took the ultimate victory. Sea God DouLuo's deep like the ocean gaze swept across everyone. That is to say, your purpose in coming to Sea God Island isn't so simple as just joining the island. Everyone's hearts chilled, subconsciously their gazes gathered on Tang San. In a few simple sentences, even though they'd made clear they weren't related to Spirit Hall, their purpose in coming had still caught seahorse DouLuo's doubt. Tang San calmly said. To learn through experience, that's why we came. Senior, begin the Lord Sea God's trial for us. If we can pass it, it won't be too late for you to investigate our goals. The unspoken meaning of his words was, if we can pass it, it won't be too late to doubt our purposes. If we can't pass it, we'd be directly banished from the island, and any goals would be impossible to achieve. Avoiding the important and focusing on the trivial in order to dispel seahorse DouLuo's questions. Seahorse DouLuo slowly walked over to the seahorse sacred pillar. Facing the sacred pillar, his eyes revealed a pious light. One person stepped forward. The hearts of the Shrek 7 devils tightened. They knew that the true trial was about to begin, but this was also what they were looking forward to. This trip to the Sea God Island, wasn't it in order to progress their strength under pressure? No need to speak, the first to step forward was Daimyo Bai, standing one step behind Seahorse DouLuo. Seahorse DouLuo slowly raised his hands, his face filled with a pious expression. Both hands held in front of his chest, his palms facing each other half a chi apart, faint blue light slowly appearing between his hands. Along with the blue light gradually growing stronger, Tang San suddenly had a kind of familiar feeling. When the blue light filled the palms of Seahorse DouLuo, rays of light suddenly blossomed, making the whole seahorse sacred pillar platform filled with a clear blue light. Immediately afterward, light flashed below the seahorse sacred pillar, a line of blue light spreading upward along the pillar pattern. In practically the blink of an eye, it climbed to the peak. Seahorse DouLuo turned, facing Daimyo Bai, right hand pointing towards him. A light blue beam of light fell from the sky, enveloping Daimyo Bai. Bathed in that beam of light, Daimyo Bai was a bit bewildered. Clearly he didn't feel anything. The color of the light began to change, from blue turning to white. Immediately afterward, it again changed from white to yellow, and practically without pause again changed to purple. The purple gradually deepened, this time the transformation speed was a bit slow, but it still kept changing. Seeing the light around Daimyo Bai change, Seahorse DouLuo seemed a bit shocked. Before long, that purple light had already completely turned black, almost completely hiding Daimyo Bai within the beam. And on the seahorse sacred pillar behind Seahorse DouLuo, the lowest part of the pattern also became black, and the color slowly started to clamber upward. Tang San and the others didn't notice, but those yellow-clothed sea spirit masters who previously brought them here saw the seahorse sacred pillar change, and each of their faces displayed overwhelming shock. Especially that middle-aged spirit master, who even showed a bit of pity. Sighing softly, he said to himself. Didn't let them come take the trial, but unfortunately they wanted to. The Lord Sea God's trials for land spirit masters really are. The black lines of light directly clambered up to a third of the seahorse divine pillar before stopping. But very soon, it once again kept spreading upward, this time climbing even faster. In a moment's work, the black lines were already covering the whole seahorse sacred pillar. Immediately afterward, altogether 6 lines of black light shot out, simultaneously arriving in front of Daimyo Bai, turning into 6 square light screens. On each light screen flickered some special golden characters. Among them, the light characters on the first screen were brilliant, while the other 5 were a lot duller. The corner of Seahorse DouLuo's mouth rose slightly, affecting a wry smile. Black level 6 tests. 2 more tests than me back then. Lord Sea God, don't tell me these people are sinners. The 6 light screens vanished, turning into 6 specks of black light that simultaneously entered DouLuo Dai's forehead. On his forehead appeared a black hexagram, its color like ink. DouLuo Dai seemed to sense something, the blankness in his eyes replaced by hidden depths. Without a word, he quickly retreated a few steps, sitting cross-legged and closing his eyes, his brows wrinkling, apparently thinking about something. The Seahorse Sacred Pillah's light gradually faded, everything returning to normal. But Seahorse DouLuo looked at DouLuo Dai with a somewhat complex gaze. From Tang San's point of view, this Seahorse DouLuo seemed to be looking at a dead person. Ma Hongjun couldn't help asking. Senior, what's black level 6 tests? Can you explain it? Seahorse DouLuo nodded slowly. The trials given by the Lord Sea God are separated by level. At different levels, the difficulty will also be different. Just like the colors of spirit rings, from lowest to highest, they're each white level trial, yellow level trial, purple level trial, black level trial and red peak trials. The Lord Sea God will give different trials to different people. And the contents of the trial appeared in the light screen just now, visible to the examinee and examiner. I'm your examiner. Through different level trials, you will obtain corresponding authority on Sea God Island. The trials are not only according to the examinee's strength, but at the same time also potential. This is the Lord Sea God's decree. Among these, white trials and yellow trials will only have one trial. Passing it counts as succeeding. Starting at the purple trial, there will start appearing differentiations. Purple trials will have 1 to 3 tests. In other words, if the light shooting from the sacred pillar in front of you is 1, then, you will experience 1 purple level trial. If there are 3, then you will undergo 3 trials in order to pass. Naturally, the more trials there are, the greater the difficulty, and after passing the greater the authority. And finally at the black level trials, there will be at least 4 trials, at most 6. That's also the black level 6 tests I mentioned just now. Black level 6 tests, that can be said to be the most difficult of the black level trials. What I can tell you is that in the recent 100 years, the black level trial has appeared altogether 31 times, among those, 7 passed, 24 failed. I am one of those 7. The 7 who passed are currently the Sea God Island's 7 Sacred Pillars protectors. And among the 7 of us, only Sea Dragon Sacred Pillars Guardian, Sea Dragon DouLuo, passed the black level 6 tests. He is also the strongest among us, his spirit power has already broken through the 95th rank. Seahorse DouLuo's explanation was very detailed, but its purpose was only one, to tell these youngsters in front of him how difficult the black level 6 tests were. By passing it, you would have authority equal to the Sacred Pillars protectors. If you failed, there would only be one conclusion, death. The Shrek 7 devils looked at each other for a moment, already without words. Seahorse DouLuo added. By accepting the Lord Sea God's trial, then, it will begin immediately. The black level trial's time limit for you land spirit masters is that you must pass 1 trial each year. After completing 1, the next trial will begin. If you exceed the time limit, or try to run, then the Sea God seal that entered his forehead before will explode, erasing the examinee. The black level trials have never before had losers, only those who passed and the dead. Therefore, it's also known as Paradise and Hell. I don't know why the Lord Sea God's trials for you land spirit masters are so difficult either. You others still have time to regret. Otherwise, if there is another black level trial, you will also be like him. Seeing as you aren't from Spirit Hall, I can honestly tell you that with his 60th rank strength, there is basically no chance of him passing the black level 6 tests. He will definitely die. Finish here. Likes, subscribes and comments. Love for all.